Can you see me okay? What do you think? Hey, it's Inga, and I decided to update my video that I made for the About Me page for a couple of reasons. Number one, um, it's really boring. It's just really, really boring, and so I wanted to update that and hopefully make one that is a little not so boring. Another reason I'm updating it is because I made that, I think, about 4 years ago, and a lot has changed in 4 years. I've changed in 4 years. So I wanted to update it and bring you up to speed to where I am now because it reflects who I am now, which I think is important. Actually, this month is June. I'm celebrating 4 years. 4 years! 4 years! Cancer free! Yay for me! Yay me! So, in celebration of that, I'm also updating my video. Okay, so to give you just a little bit of background, I'm a stage 4 rectal cancer survivor. I was diagnosed December 28th of 2010, and it had spread to my liver. I had liver surgery to remove the tumor. I was lucky it was on the tip of the tumor, so they were able to just chop it off and then focus on chemo and radiation. I had 2 chemotherapy treatments and 30 radiation treatments. The first chemo treatment was in alignment with my first radiation treatment. The last chemo treatment was in alignment with my last radiation treatment. I have a colostomy bag. I got that in October of 2011. Like I said, I was diagnosed December 28th of 2010, and right around June 11th of 2011, I was declared cancer-free. Yay, cancer-free! So anyway, that's pretty darn good for someone who was a stage 4 rectal cancer to go from pretty much a terminal prognosis to cancer-free in about 6 or 7 months. That's just pretty unheard of. And so how I did that was, I just told you that I went conventional treatment. And as soon as I was out of the hospital, which was early February, what I did was I got on the internet. I looked for other stage 4 rectal cancer survivors. To be honest, I didn't find any. So I expanded my search to stage 4 cancer survivors, no matter what kind of cancer they had. And I ran into some amazing people. One woman, her name is Chris Carr. She is actually living with stage 4 lung cancer, I believe it is. She's been living with it for about 12 years, and she's thriving. I followed her blog. I joined her community back then of cancer survivors. And I still follow her on Facebook and Twitter. I got her books, and I ran into other survivors, and I copied what everybody did. And the number one thing they all did was they all changed their diet. Now, the majority of them all became vegans. They eat a plant-based diet. So I did the same exact thing. I have the kind of personality where I'm either all in or I'm all out. So at the time when I was diagnosed, I was vegetarian. But one of the main things missing out of my vegetarian diet was actually the vegetables. I ate way too much processed foods. I was under the assumption that if they sold it in the grocery store, it must be okay to eat. Since then, the past 4 years, I've certainly figured out that is complete bullshit. So there's all kinds of games the FDA, the USDA, whoever else is involved in this stuff they play these games. They're word games, and I'm not going to get into the politics of all that stuff right now, but just to let you know is that I don't eat processed foods. I do eat canned tomatoes, and I do eat canned beans, but I make sure they are the kind of cans that don't have that garbage on the inside, and they're always organic. And the reason I eat those two in cans is because I'm too lazy to chop tomatoes, and cooking beans on the stove just didn't make sense to me. So anyway, those are the two things I eat in, in processed form, and it's like minimally processed. I mean, they're just basically throwing these beans in a can, and that's it. I also eat soy protein burgers. I can't think of the name of the product I get right now, but they're a black bean burger. They're Gardein, that's it. I think it's Gardein. I eat those to get my protein from there, and I make fabulous burgers out of those. So anyway, back to what I did when I was sick. When I was going through treatment, my intestines were just being hammered. I mean, I had cancer, I had radiation, all that stuff in there was totally fucked up. So what I did was I started out juicing. And the reason I did juicing is because it was the easiest for me to digest. I juice simple ingredients like an apple, carrots, cucumber, and broccoli. And I just lived off that the whole time. And then I ate potato soup, cream of potato soup. And so, because those things were easy to digest. Then I went on about a month later, I graduated to green smoothies. I added that to my daily regimen. I took a shot glass of noni juice. If you look in my blog, you can probably look up noni juice and you can see why I took that. I added to the mix meditation and affirmations. I read a great book by Louise Hay, Heal Your Life. I still have her book. If you get a chance to read it, I really recommend it. You can read it even if you don't have a life-threatening illness. She just has a lot to say in there. So anyway, that's what I did for me to get healthy. Now I get it. Not everybody is like me where they're just going to jump right in and change their life. And not only just change their life, but continue with it. I mean, I've been doing this for 4 years. I'm never going back. I'm never changing back to my old lifestyle of eating processed foods, of getting not enough rest, putting up with bullshit from coworkers, bosses, people, neighbors, whatever. I either tell people no, or I have my boundaries. I speak my mind. I speak my truth. I am a completely different person than I was from December 25th, 26th, when I first went to the hospital to try to find out what was wrong with me, and to now. I'm a completely different person. I'm happier, and I'm healthier than I ever was before I got sick. So, that being said, not everybody is me, and I'm not everybody else. So, not everybody is going to go vegan. I totally get that. So the main thing is, I think that if you stay away from processed foods, and I've been reading about the paleo diet, which is my understanding, basically back to nature, eating organic fruits and vegetables, as much of those as you can get. If you can't get organic, just eat the foods that you can peel, like oranges, bananas, cucumbers. But make sure that if it's an apple, if it's any foods in the berry department, like strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, those have to be organic. They just have to be organic, and it's worth it to pay the extra money. What I do is I buy all this stuff on sale, and the foods that I don't eat is thrown in the freezer. So what I did works for me. You have to find out what works for you, whether you go conventional treatment, whether you go completely alternative or integrative like I did. But what we can all agree on is that eating healthy is the number one thing for any single person on the planet. Eating healthy, whole-based foods, vegetables, like I said, vegetables and fruits, as much organic as you can get. If you have to eat chicken or fish or beef, Make sure it's organic and it's free range. That's all there is to it. There is too much shit that they put in these meats these days. Not to mention that they are trying to genetically modify anything they get their little hands on, and those types of food are going to make you sick. They are. I'm positive that it was the food that I was eating and a crazy lifestyle that made my immune system completely crash, and I ended up with stage 4 colon cancer. Not to mention, I was misdiagnosed for a year before I actually got a real diagnosis. So that goes into the mix too. So basically, what this blog is about is to give you ideas how to be healthy, how to eat healthy, things that work for me. They are also stories from other people that I found on the internet, either blogs or videos, firsthand stories about other survivors. And it's all about health, getting healthy and staying healthy. So if that's for you, this is probably the blog for you. And in fact, you don't even have to have cancer to read what I got to say. So you just kind of cruise around, click on the sites and links that you think sounds interesting to you, read it, see what you think. If it doesn't sound right to you, then don't do it. Don't listen to it, don't do it, move on. Other than that, welcome to my blog and have a great day. And if you have any questions, please leave me a comment. I think I have an email link somewhere around here, and you can send me email questions. That way your comment won't show up on my blog if you want to be more private. I'm cool with that. So anyway, thanks for stopping by my site, and I hope you have a great day and have a healthy life. Okay, bye.